maybe two wives in cultures where they have two wives. They just have two wives. That's what happens. They're busy, got two families, like 20 kids, and they've got to feed these two wives. They're busy. They're booked and busy. They've got two wives to look after. Men with one wife will have an affair every 2 years. So I'm thinking, what might be, but like not every 2 years, but some men with just one wife, they can. Their affairs are more likely. So sometimes it made me realize that polygamy might be better than monogamy. At least there's some element of knowledge and control. I can see the difference, because you're either, I'm not saying you have to have either or, there's many monogamous men out there, but there are, in monogamous countries, there's a lot of infidelity. So it does show you that maybe there isn't just one route for a faithful relationship. Maybe there is different routes for it. You just have to pick what you're okay with. Yeah? As a woman, you have to pick what you're okay with. Are you okay with you being polygamous? Are you okay with your partner being polygamous? Are you okay with just a really monogamous man? But then if you really want a monogamous man, you have to choose a man with low testosterone. If you really want a monogamous man, his testosterone must be really low. But if you're choosing a high testosterone man and expecting him to be faithful for the rest of your life, you have to be slightly more realistic. Yeah?
Wow, what the heck was she saying? This is some side chick logic. This video was taken this past weekend at the London event. A lot of people are asking, what happened? Did she go? Yes, I heard she charges a ridiculous amount of money for these engagements. So she probably had to show up, but it wasn't a good idea, because now we have videos like this from people who were in attendance showing how irrational she sounds. Now, I'm not going to diagnose her. I'm not a licensed psychologist, and I'm no longer a licensed mental health counselor, nor a licensed marriage, couples, and family therapist. I retired in 2019, but from my academic background, I would guess that this is an example of pressured speech from someone afflicted with a manic disposition, but I could be wrong. But that's what I'm seeing here from my academic background, which was in clinical mental health counseling. I do feel a little bit sorry for her, because clearly, she's stressed, she's probably not sleeping, and she's very anxious about what's happening to her career right now. But that aside, I think it's still very important, until she comes out and takes accountability and owns up to the things that she's done, to not let her get off the hook. So she posted this whole announcement on her Instagram page today, trying to create a false narrative, defending herself against the allegations that she cheated with a married man and that she's not trained to do what she's doing. So let me also make a point about that. She's using loopholes and to manipulate the narrative, because she didn't have an affair with a married man. The guy that they have the audio of was engaged, and it was in 2021. So maybe they're not seeing each other anymore, but that was real. John Dorsey, Goob, did talk to that guy, and he totally fessed up that, yeah, I did it, I made a mistake, but he owned his stuff. So he's not on blast, but she is, because she's lying about it and trying to pretend like it didn't happen, and creating this whole saga about it being AI generated, but it's not, it's real. Now, the second part about her being fully trained, she's not a fully trained professional psychologist. She was trained as a psychology teacher of A levels. That's teenagers. That's low-level remedial psychology teacher. Not a professor, not a counselor or therapist or anything that is clinically trained to do proper treatment of people with mental health issues. So here we are in this public speaking arrangement where she's presenting this idea that polygamy is healthier than monogamy, because if you are in a polygamous situation and you are a second wife, you know that your husband is not cheating on you because he's sleeping with his first wife. And that makes sense to you, her in this instance, because you are so afraid of being cheated on, disrespected, or abandoned, right? These are childhood wounds and abandonment issues that she's bringing to the table. And it's her way of coping with that, to regain some kind of control in the situation. So instead of going crazy, wondering if this man that she's with monogamously, like theoretically, is cheating on her, she now knows that he is just with his other wife, and somehow this is rational to her. Like, this is the sense that she's made of it. And she's trying to say that if you want a high value, high testosterone man, you're going to tolerate that, because if you settle for someone in a monogamous relationship, not only is he going to cheat on you anyway, he's going to have low T. So he's going to be a weak, low value man if you're in a monogamous relationship. So this is the way that she is trying to cope with her own insecurities and her own anxieties and her own anxious attachment issues and abandonment wounds. And now she's projecting it out there, asserting herself as an expert in the field, trying to influence your opinion about monogamy versus polygamy, and stating that if you want to be a high T, high value man, you're going to be polygamous. And if you're a high value woman, you're going to tolerate that, and it's better for you. So think about that before you actually listen to this woman. I mean, if you're going to listen to her, at least know that it's just her opinion, and it's just her trying to rationalize and intellectualize her own choices in her life. And she's pushing it off to you as if it's some kind of expert opinion. It's not based on any kind of research, and it's doing a lot of damage. So this is dangerous stuff to be out there so prolifically because she's viral. So just my 2 cents.